testimony that we hear. So to me, it's taking us to a higher level of transparency and openness. And I agree with you. I don't believe anyone currently here abuses the practice, and in fact, I don't know that I've even seen the practice being conducted. So I don't think we're really giving up anything if we do choose to accept this rule. And I'm not going to belabor it. It's one of those things we can vote and move on. But I think we gain a lot potentially in reassuring the public if we do accept it.
Supervisor Brown.
Yes, I understand about the sticky notes. I sent you one today saying I need to talk to you at lunch. And 2 people wanted to speak, so I put their names down for John because I didn't think they had sent out their orange copies. So I can understand your concern as well. It's the appearance or perception.
Well, John, I'm concerned more about what John's saying is somehow it increases transparency. I mean, by that logic, then we probably should tear the computers out of our offices. We should probably, because when we go back in there, who knows what we're doing back there. While we're up here, some level of decorum and some level of respect, 20%, 80% of the time, who knows, we should try to maintain. But to outlaw a technology that may, when maybe I'm sitting up here and something comes up and it occurs to me that, well, wait a minute, there's a document somewhere. I can punch it in, say to Christy, can you check on that? Because I have passed her notes. Get me that, can you get me this? And with a note just over the top to her, okay? And half dozen times in 10 years maybe. But the point being is it may have been mildly distracting at that point, but another way to do it would be just to send a note to somebody saying, can you get us this or that? And it would be helpful. Now, if I'm sitting up here the whole time, just sitting here and punching away, that would be inappropriate. But what would I be doing otherwise? Would I, what would be my behavior that would be so valuable to the public if I were pretending to be really engaged in the discussion? I don't see that it enhances. It's a question of we've got to use the technology, and we've got to have supervisors who behave responsibly and or at least appear to behave responsibly. I don't see killing the technology as being an accomplishment adding to transparency. That's all I'm saying. It's a little bit, I'm a Luddite in many areas, but I'm not a Luddite when it comes to things that allow people to be more efficient in the public interest.
Before I call on, I'd like to interject something. First of all, I think this is an issue that the whole Brown Act needs to recognize. I'm surprised that this hasn't been a court issue before now, because I think it really does distract from the open meeting process in the Brown Act, for the simple reason that's what the open meeting process is about. It's for everybody in the room, the public and the staff and the and the elected bodies, to talk about and have the same information. That's why you have agenda things, and that's why you have the notice requirements. So everything you're going to be talking about is out there for the public and out there for the, for everybody to see. In the blackberries and whatnot, I feel it takes away from that to a certain degree. I'm not so sure it's even to the point where it breaks the Brown Act or any of that. But myself, I'm not going to get hung up on this if I'm not an electronics person. I mean, I've seen the abuses of it, but as Supervisor Koufax says, that's an individual situation. But we need to move this on, and so if there's support to leave it in, let's leave it in. If there's not, let's take it out. I mean, we can argue back and forth on the merits of this. So with those comments,
Well, I would support not having it in. I think that we don't have any circumstance now that would indicate that we should, and I think it's a philosophical issue. I mean, the public doesn't know every document that we have. They know what's at the back of the room, but as counsel will tell you, that doesn't preclude that we don't bring other documents in terms of relevant to the discussion with us. And that's just a tool we have to do our job. So we can start micromanaging this to the point of absurdity. I mean, the colored folders go back and forth. They're reading folders. I'm sure the public wonders what the colored folders are.
In
So
order to move this away, you want to have it removed.
I would definitely, I really object to the essence of what it's doing.
Can I pull you, or do you want to make further comments?
No, I would support putting it in.
Leaving it in. Supervisor Brown, do you want to make comments, or you?
One in, one out. No, I'd like to hear what Supervisor.
Well,
Supervisor Colfax wants to take it out.
I said take it out only because it's clumsy, it's
So
embarrassing.
there's 3 votes there to take it out. So you don't have to, or you support to take it in and leave it out?
I just want to move forward.
Well,
Okay,
but
so-
we can move forward with a poll. We may not move forward unanimously, and you spoke in favor of leaving it in. If you stay there, then you let the chairman earn his money.
Well, there's still 3 votes here to take it out,
Well,
no matter what Carrie and I say.
well, no, I favor leaving it in.
You leave it in?
And Carrie originally favored leaving it in, I thought.
I do favor leaving it in, but I'm in the attempt to not have to invoke the 5:30 rule, whatever that means, since
You
it's
can't
not
because we have
defined.
closed session.
Let's move forward as long as, unless you want to take a vote on that particular
We
one,
already
and I'll
have.
take a
Well,
stand.
we're
Yeah.
taking a poll right now.
Mr. Chairman, we have already counted to 3. Do we want to
Yes.
do it again or
So it
not?
stays in.
You want to leave it in,
Yes, I would support
and
that.
you want to take it out,
Yes.
and you want to leave it in,
Yes.
and you want to take it out.
For the second time, yes.
Yeah.
That's right, okay.
So that's 3-2.
What's the chair want to do?
I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to take it out.
Okay.
I was for supporting put it, but I Supervisor Kovacs bring up a good point. It's, there may be abuses of it, but and actually, if there's dramatic abuses of it, that can
We can
tend to
take
be
it
the.
up.
You can
Let's
always
move
amend
on.
the rules, yes.
Exactly. Well,
So it's being eliminated.
that in itself would be a
Mr. Chair.
violation of the Brown Act.
Mr. Chair, let's move on.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay, so page 7 of 14, we just added the custom that actually,
Just for the record, Supervisor Colfax won me over again.
okay, I'm keeping track.
That's 142 to 4.
Okay, page 7 of 14, we added in something that has been a custom and practice historically for this board. We just put it in writing, and that is the board observes a custom of granting the district supervisor the privilege of making the initial motion on a planning application and appeal that originates in his or her district.
Does that need to be a rule? That's a
Yeah,
custom.
why would we put a custom in a policy?
Yeah.
It's simply,
So that it's-
these rules are also for the public, so
Yeah.
it simply acknowledges our common practice, which I
Right.
think is a rather innocuous one.
Right.
Yeah.
We all agree on that?
Yes.
Okay.
Leave it in.
Yes.
Okay, page 8 of 14, again, that is something that is now in compliance with Robert's rules. Questions continued by request.
Actually, I thought, wasn't the question that, how does this really differ from a continuation, and perhaps this could just be eliminated?
Oh, right, because we have the 20.
I mean, it's basically, it's a Cadillac version of a motion to continue.
Because it's listed under Rule 20, motions to continue.
Do we even need it in there?
Yeah,
Well-
right. This was the one that we had talked about. It didn't need
We
to be
could get
in there.
rid of it, and
Yeah.
we don't lose anything.
Right.
So we're going to do away with Rule
We can
23?
delete that one.
We're going to delete all of Rule 23?
Yeah.
Does everybody agree to that? That seems odd. If we go from Rule 22 to 24, everybody's going to wonder what was Rule 23?
She's going to adjust the numbers.
But
Clerk will adjust.
22 will still be 22, though.
24 will now be 23,
Yeah.
so on
Okay.
and so forth.
Have a
Okay.
good rhythm going.